This is the 12th story from the London Plus book. It's called The Letters. I was over visiting my brother David, and he said he couldn't let me have these 3 letters, but he would like them transcribed in case they were lost or destroyed. They were to my great-grandmother, addressed as Cousin Jean, written during the 1860s and 1870s. So I spent a morning in his office typing and editing and below other results. Dear Cousin Jean, 20th of July, 66. How are you? And the family? Do pass my very best wishes to them all. It's been too long since you have visited us in Islington. I would really much prefer to be talking with you than writing my good news. You know our Mr. Robert Smith, of course. Do you remember when I used to play the piano and he used to sing? He could sing anything, songs from opera or musical or even the broadsheets. How he has time to learn them all I cannot imagine. And he could tell such stories. You used to laugh just as much as I did. He says the stories he remembered were from when he used to read to his mother. Now, his father approached Papa and said he was interested in me marrying him. Really, Papa should have left me to hear from himself. I was so excited when we were left in the sitting room together. Our first time alone. He found it so difficult to come to the point, and for the first time ever he even blushed. Then at last he said that his father had talked to Papa and had given him to understand we might be wed. I was blushing too, it must be catching, and I just nodded my head. And so we are betrothed. He gave me a beautiful ring. Wouldn't you like to see it? And he said he looked forward to giving me a wedding ring, oh so much. So now our house is all excitement, deciding a date and a venue. Where will we be wed? In St. Mark's? Papa knows the rector, but is certainly not sure about the curate. Mamma and I are looking for dressmakers. Old Mrs. Bailey's girls are good for everyday dresses, but do you think that they could do such an important and special dress? So, I think you know I must be really busy. Do come to us in Islington, and you would be very welcome to help with all our arrangements. And see the ring. Are you not more than just a bit envious? All my love, Cousin Jean. Your Elizabeth. Dear Cousin Jean, 18th of August 70. Oh, I miss you so much. You left only a couple of weeks, and my little Joseph misses you just as much as I do. You were such a help over the last few months. Robert does not always express things clearly, but even he was asking why you had left. I had to reassure him it was need to help your dear mother after your father had been so sick. Do let me know if there has been any improvement. We all would like you back. You know Robert was talking of changing his place of work. A friend has approached him to say the Eastern Railway Company has a position in charge of their accounting office. Now that would not be such a big step for him, but they were also guaranteeing a review for promotion to the board in 2 years. The railway companies have such a good reputation for business now. Robert says this is the sort of opening he has been hoping for. It should mean that we could move out of Papa's house. I will let you know when I hear more. We all have our fingers crossed. I must close now. Little Joseph is crying and supper is nearly ready. All my love, Cousin Jean, and best wishes to your dear mother and father. Your Elizabeth. Dear Cousin Jean, 20th February 72. When I saw our new home first, I was shocked. Walton-on-the-Naze is not Islington, and the station master's house is not like my dear papa's house. We will not be able to have live-in servants. How I will be able to look after little Joseph and baby Mary here, I cannot think. Even finding somewhere for your dear cousin will be hard enough. There is quite clean inn in the town, I am told. Perhaps you could stay there. How could Papa and Mamma stay in some country inn for any length of time? But there is, Robert assures me, no choice. It's only now that I heard the story of why Robert was sent away from head office to this small town in Essex. In Robert's accounting office, one of the clerks was stealing. Yes, stealing. They call it all sorts of other names these days. Once a year, Robert and the chief clerk review the books, and differences that could not be explained were found. Robert knew immediately who was responsible. He then dismissed that clerk. Robert had to explain the matter to the board. They said Robert could stay on in the company, but he no longer could be in the accounting office. The number of accounting professionals, even in such a large city as London, is small enough for the story has ruined my Robert's reputation. So, here we are in Walton-on-the-Naze for the foreseeable future. It would be lovely to see you, and I am sure we could still organise something comfortable for you. All my love to you, Cousin Jean, and your parents. Your Elizabeth.